Mr Rudd, what a lot of Australians want to know about China is whether its economy is fizzling or not. In a nutshell, what's the view on that there where you are?
The virtue of being here at the World Economic Forum is being able to talk to not just Chinese officials and Chinese ministers about this subject, but also those who study professionally the Chinese economy. I think the overall conclusion is this. There is some modest slowing in the Chinese economy, but this is not a disastrous slowing. Furthermore, in the debate which now surrounds whether there's going to be a hard landing or a soft landing, I'm firmly of the view that it's going to be a soft landing. We're still likely to see growth north of 7.5% for the year. That's good, that's strong, with further stimulus measures from the Chinese government kicking in the third and fourth quarters. Overall, therefore, good for Australia and good for the world.
Well, we have had some debate here in Australia within the government about whether the mining boom is over or not. It sounds like you would think that it's not over.
No, I think it gets a bit pointless sort of throwing these words around about boom, bust, somewhere in between. Any student of the history of commodity prices know that it's much more complex than that. What's the reality? For us, this market's very important, number one trading partner, but also when you look at the structure of Australia's exports more generally, about 15-16% of our GDP comes out of the resources sector. It represents some 60% of our exports, and then you look at 20% of our exports coming out of iron ore and the largest customer, China. So what happens here is important. Prices have come off. Martin Ferguson's absolutely right to point that fact out, because prices are now at their lowest that they've been since 2009, 30% off in the last short few months. But medium term, long term, frankly, there is robust demand here still. It's a country with a huge population, growing domestic demand, a rising middle class, and frankly, there is, I think, great opportunities still for us here in the resources sector and beyond into the future.